It's a pleasure to be here, and my name is Shariq. I run the film business of Z, and it's my first TEDx talk, so it's fairly exciting. And so once again, thank you for having me here. Can we start? Okay, so very interesting topic came up, which is roots, and that really got me thinking as to how do we position a presentation for young minds over here, using that as a topic, but also giving you all something to ponder upon through through my life journey and experiences which I have had over almost about 30 years of work experience as such. So when you're talking about roots, it's basically you are only as strong as the foundation that you build for yourself. The speakers before me have come and spoken about, through their life experiences, about the kind of foundation that they have built and how that has helped them in their life over the years. And I'll be talking to you all about my experiences over the years, so that you all can take something out of my journey, which can help you all as you all navigate life beyond the classroom. So, the tree is only as strong as the roots it actually, sprouts. The wider and the deeper the roots grow, the tree automatically, or the shrubs or any plant actually prospers and can weather the storms that actually come against for it to weather and make sure that it continues to stand strong, right? One of the speakers earlier said that there's actually a full ecosystem which exists, and I think that ecosystem which is there in a forest, the trees nurture each other through the fungi and bacteria and soil and everything and all the creepy crawlies that live under the soil actually help each other. So it's extremely important to ensure that the roots that you build for yourself go beyond that, and you're actually nurturing the communities around you. So what are the basic tenets of creating this strong foundation, right? According to me, there are these 3-4 basic things which are there. I think family is primarily the main source of any foundation of all of our beings. We're all over here. It's not just our journey. It's the journey of our forefathers. It's of our parents, of our grandparents. They have gone through everything what they went through over their lifespan for all of us to be exactly in this room today. So it's important to understand that you are not just who you think you are. It is a sum total. It's a totality of generations before you who have helped you reach over here. All of us, I assume all of you all are, who are studying in this wonderful university are staying away from home. When you go back or when you're talking to your parents, please spend more time with them. You guys are young and you may not appreciate the amount of time that you get with your parents or the wisdom that they impart. I know when I was younger and my dad would, sit me down and tell me about the family history, and this is who we were and this is what we used to do, or my mother talk about her father or her parents. It was always something that you would tend to run away from. I actually urge you all, please spend more time starting immediately. Call up your parents at the end of this session, speak with them, understand when you're back over the weekends or back at home, to understand where you all come from, and remember, and always remember that, because I'm now 50, I'm 52 now, I'll be 52 next month, and believe you me, when you're younger, you think that you'll never turn into your parents, but as you grow older, you will turn into your father or your mother. So the guys will turn into their fathers. So see how your father is, spend time with him, because you will be him in 20, 30, 40 years later. I see that with my wife, I see that with my sister. They are turning into their mothers, and that's just the way, it is. I'm also a parent, so I'm also seeing the journey of my children, and it's important to impart the foundation to them, what you get from your forefathers, and just by spending time with them to make sure that their foundation is strong. The second part is, of course, education and skills, which are imparted by, through universities like this. So the education coupled with the family background helps in making that foundation. The family values, or what you imbibe from the family, or what you get from the educational system, are things which are given down to you. Those are things that you tend to absorb through osmosis, by observation or by learning. However, the last two, attitude and work ethic, are something that you have to develop yourself. That's not something anyone can pass on to you or train you into. It's something that you must have to ensure that this is what I need to do, this is what I need to achieve. And if you have this trifecta as such, in terms of, a strong family support, education and skills developed, and with the right attitude, I'm sure the foundation will be strong. Since I'm from the movies, I'm going to, try and tell you about my journey, make myself the protagonist of my story, just as you are the protagonist of your own story. You are the Shariq Khan of your film. You are the Deepika Padukone. You are the Amitabh Bachchan. You are the Dilip Kumar. You are the Tom Cruise. You have to. This is your life and you are living it. And everything that you do is you are the center of it. That doesn't mean you should become conceited and only think about yourself, but it's your journey. And I think it's important for you to live that journey and learn from from others, as I said, from parents or from people like us who've lived and worked for longer than you. Your mentors, your educationists, your educators. Sorry, not educationists. Okay, so there was this very interesting. There's an American scholar called Joseph Campbell. He kind of studied a lot of the the mythologies, the great books, and he kind of arrived at what he called the hero's journey. And the same thing has since been utilized by pretty much all the great sagas you see, everything from Harry Potter to Lion King to The Matrix to Lord of the Rings. The central character, the hero, his journey pretty much follows this particular path. This is a fairly, there are about 12 or 13 steps as such, which, without getting into the details of it, it basically says that, you start off with the normal world, and there's a call to adventure. And the normal world is something that all of y'all at your ages are in this very secure and cocooned kind of a lifestyle, whereby there's a lot of structure to your life in terms of, you got to get up Monday to Friday, Monday to, you've got classes. So it's structured. There are people who are deciding your timetable and you are, adhering to that. So that's your, normal world. As you step out of this institution and you actually get into the unknown, right? The job market, and you're trying to carve a name for yourself and a career for yourself and a life for yourself. That's when the fun starts, right? You cross the threshold, and that's pretty much what in storytelling we call, the beginning of the second act. Typically most films, if you do any research, it's a 3-act structure, right? So the first act is always, it's a bit of a setup, and that at plot point 1, which typically in a movie of say 2 hours, between the 20th and 30th minute, something happens, and something has to happen to the character for the story to move forward. And that is the beginning of the second act, which is also a lot of fun. You're getting into, you're getting into the unknown. You will meet interesting people. Some will help you. There'll be trials and tribulations. And as that second act continues, which is also, the most fun part of the movie, where a lot of things happen at that time in terms of from a story movement perspective. You grow new skills, you get, there's trials and failures. Believe you me, before the climax, there is a pre-climax, or there is the second plot point where things will go wrong. And that really, the greater the fall of the character, and if you see that in any movie, in any story, the greater the obstacle, the more exciting it is for us as viewers, as readers, to actually, stay invested in that, in that film. That will happen, that happens in the films, that happens in the stories, that will happen with you. And that is when you really need to focus on what the foundation you have, right? The family, the skill sets, your education, and coupled with your work ethic and your attitude to really get out of that moment, to resurrect yourself and then finally emerge victorious. I'm just going to take you very quickly through my professional journey. I graduated, I did my MBA from NMIMS, graduated in 1996, and we are now in 2024. I've gone through multiple industries, and what seems like a fairly straight line, it isn't. I'm going to just take you through my professional journey in a slightly more graphical manner to show that how it's very important to that it's never a straight line. So this was me. I started off, as I said, I graduated from NMIMS in 1996. I got placed on day one in a wonderful company called the Export-Import Bank of India. It was one of India's premier development financial institution. It was a day one placement. My dad was very happy because, you know, he's had friends he's actually had two friends who went on to become chairmen of the State Bank of India, which was, you know, the largest job in finance. So he was very happy that, you know, chalo bete ko ek achhe secure naukri mil gayi. As you all know, government organizations don't pay too much money, but it is, you know, one of those secure places. Gotten over there, joined as a assistant manager, deputy manager, whatever the terminology was at that time. Spent 4 years in that organization, analyzing balance sheets and, you know, all kinds of funky stuff, including going to, I'm fairly sure I went to one of the Munjal owned factories because we were giving them loans. I did that for 4 years and was starting to realize that, you know, I probably won't be the best banker there is in the world. And at that time, I mean, India was an extremely exciting time and opportunity. Right from 2000s to 2010s, there were nothing less than, I think, 10, 12 different industries which suddenly sprouted up. One of them was this new thing called internet, which I'm sure some of you all might have heard of, that, you know, that suddenly popped up and saying that, hey, there were jobs in this internet economy. And everyone looked around and there were consultants trying to hire people, and they looked around and they saw that there was no one with any internet experience. So I put up my hand and I said, hey, you know, I don't know what this internet means. We all had our, you know, Hotmail and Yahoo passwords, and there were these chat rooms which we would go in and, you know, have some fun in. But that was the be all and end all of the internet economy at that time. So I jumped in. I joined a company over there, and within the year we realized that funding was drying up, and the boom leading up to, you know, 2000s, just when the internet economy was starting off in India. Within 1 year of me joining this company called India.com, we kind of literally, Rupert Murdoch decided to shut that down, and I had my first job loss. So imagine I'm like 4 or 5 years into, you know, into my working life, and you face your first setback. And this is when, you know, when my father is saying, really, you left this banking job for this new internet thing? Kya kar rahe ho tum? You know, samajh mein nahi aa raha hai. However, that was the first dip which kind of, you know, happened. 3 months I was sitting at home trying to look for a job, and then there was this other new thing which is happening over there. You know, mobiles were there from like 96, 97, but there were new licenses which were allotted in the early 2000s, and there was Airtel which was looking to hire additional people. And I said, okay, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to expect in a telecom company. What do you want me to do? They wanted to launch, you know, at that time there was very funky, there's things called value-added services. So that was, you know, cricket scores and astrology and Bollywood news, and ringtones were a big thing. So I joined that as a product development, as the product development manager over there. Was there for about a couple of years before there was this new thing which suddenly popped up. There was private FM radio which is happening. And again, they started, you know, the industry started looking for people to join them. And again, I said, okay, you know, I listen to radio, so why can't I run a radio station? I got an opportunity to run what is now Radio 1 94.3 for about 4 years. I was doing that, and after radio, there was, I wanted to explore even further, and there was this new thing which suddenly popped up. That was my first stint with Z. There's something called the Indian Cricket League which was about to start, and I joined that, and I ran the cricketing operation, the operations, the stadium operations, and the marketing for that for about a year and a half. And then there was this new industry which again popped up, which was the film industry, and there were corporates getting into films, and I said, okay, you know, I got an opportunity to jump over there. And I joined Viacom, which I did for about a year and a half before Raghav Bell, who was the owner, he decided to shut that division down, and I went jobless for the second time. So that was my second big dip which happened. I then, you know, the entrepreneurship bug bit me, and I said that, okay, you know, I think I can do this. So I got into film marketing and, you know, and consulting. Did that for about, you know, 6 years. During that, we even produced a movie called Dharam Sankat Mein, which is available on Netflix. Please watch it. And that I had a partner which was, you know, with me. He unfortunately kind of literally drank himself to death. He died because of cirrhosis of the liver. And whatever money we were making, thanks to the movie, and as the company was about to take off, I had to settle, the accounts with his family and everything. And that was the third big dip, which happened, in my career. Life continued, and then suddenly, because I'd worked with Z many years ago, I suddenly got a call from the managing director, Puneet Goenka, and he says that, what are you doing? Would you like to come and run the film business of Z? And I said, yes, why not? And it's been 6 years now since that I've been there. So as you see that, the path will never be straight for any one of you. It's not been straight for anyone before you. No one in this room has ever had the straight path. You need to be ready for these dips which come in your life. And for that, you need to have strong roots and strong foundation. Just summarizing the last few slides, you know where you have come from. You might know the path that you want to take, but be rest assured that you have no idea where you're going to end up. When I started off, when I completed my MBA, if someone was going to tell me that I would be running India's largest film studio, I would have said, you're joking. But this is the path that that I took, and this is where I am. And I'm sure all of you all will similarly embark on this great journey called life and arrive where unexpectedly, but I'm sure it'll be successful and be fun. I'm going to just leave you with this last thought. What is this? It's a mud pot. Yes, that's right. So the person who actually made this mud pot, and the mud pot is meant for storage of water, transportation of water, correct? That's the primary example. Or is it? Next slide. Who knew that the mud pot can be used as a musical instrument? The person playing this is the founding member of a band called Shakti, which he started 50 years ago, which, in case you're not aware, actually won the Grammy this year with Zakir Hussain and Shankar Mahadevan and the rest of the band members. So all of you all have been shaped as pots, or all of us has been shaped as pots. हम लोग सब मिट्टी से बने हुए हैं. The purpose is not pre-decided by the person who has made you. It's finally what you make of yourself, or how you actually you can make music instead of just being there to store water. Yeah, thank you. Time's up.